why we're here. Uh, Thank you so much, Mr. Smith, for joining, and others. Thank you. We're going to pull up our PowerPoint. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I thought somebody was saying something. We're going to go ahead and go live on YouTube. We're already live, and we're going to our PowerPoint presentation. But while we're doing that, I just want to share a little bit about my journey and why we're here, and why I felt compelled, if you will, to actually offer an opportunity to share not just my story, but also to share a little bit of what life is like when living a life on purpose. Maybe not our purpose, but a designed life. So for me, a lot of that started on December 31st, 1979. When I picked up a copy of the book Think and Grow Rich, began to read the book began to read me. The author asked me 4 questions, gave me 6 steps to riches. And since 1970, this day,
Thank you all so much for joining. Miss Ann just dropped off. She's having Wi-Fi issues. So give her just a moment and she'll be back on. Oh, here she is. Welcome, Miss Ann.
my Wi-Fi is like in and out, but I am not going to be heard. And you are willing to stick here with me. We are going to do this. All right. Life happens, challenges, obstacles, and opportunities for growth happen. And we just have to grow through it as we go through it. All right. So I was sharing that December 31st, 19, book Thinking Grow Rich. As I began to read the book began to read me. The author gave me 4 questions that I answered that night, but he gave me 6 steps to riches, and I have been in that book every single week since 19.
Again, thank you so much for bearing with us. Yeah, she's back. And thank you for your patience. We're just waiting for her to connect, so we can hear her speaking. So thank you again for bearing with us during the technical difficulties. All right, she is still working on reconnecting. So just wanted to give you that update. Once she reconnects, we'll continue on with the program.
All right, one more time. The weather's bad where I am, and I'm just determined that I'm going to do this. So I had to move location, but nevertheless, we're going to press our way forward. I was sharing about my journey and the book Think and Grow Rich and how I read the book, but the book began to read me. The author gave me 4 questions, but he gave me 6 steps to riches. And my desire here today is to share with you my journey, my framework on what I've done to have built 5 businesses from one page of the book. Now, it looks like it's clear behind me, but the weather is really bad with the winds. And so, even though it keeps knocking me off Wi-Fi, I keep coming back. And I just, you know, I'm just going to keep going. What are you going to say? Just keep going, just like life. So, we're going to go ahead and share our PowerPoint presentation. And if you have any questions, you're listening on YouTube, you can put your questions in the chat. We'll get to those now or later. And for those of you that are here with me in the Zoom, you can also put your questions in the Zoom chat. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Michelle, if you would be able to just pull up the PowerPoint. And again, want to thank all of you that's joining here today for this webinar. I'm committed to do this live every week. And again, I make myself available while we're waiting for the PowerPoint to come up. If you have a desire to connect with me, you can text the number 59925 and you can join me on all the social media, annmcneil.com. And if you have a desire to start and run a successful mastermind group, I've published this book. It's called How to Start and Run a Successful Book, Mastermind, because every Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern Time, I host a free family and friends mastermind call for questions and answers. If you have any questions about how do you do this, my journey started, like I said, 1979, but my journey actually started in the book Think and Grow Rich with the mastermind principle. So I took the 4 questions he asked me. How much you want, Ann McNeil? What are you going to do? Some kind of product or service? The third question was by what date you want the money. And then fourth question was, where's your plan of action? So as you listen to my presentation, think about yourself and the questions that you have in terms of how you are planning on getting to your desire. But more importantly than all of that, what is it that you desire? What is it that you want so badly you're willing to press the weather? So badly you're willing to press the struggles and the strains and the challenges of life to get to your desired actions for your desired result. All right. So the McNeil factor is all about you becoming the best version of yourself without feeling stuck and without any of those activities that we have that tends to overwhelm us. Next slide, please. All right. So introducing myself, Ann McNeil, speaker, coach, author, board member for NSA. I actually sit on 6 national boards of different organizations. NSA is just only one of those, which I'm very proud of. And I host a Black NSA $1 million mastermind 10 weeks, twice a year to help others in the speaking and entrepreneurial space to learn how to grow your mindset to grow your business. And I've coached over 1,000 people in that space in particular. I run a multi-million-dollar construction company and I'm certified with the Napoleon Hill Foundation as a coach. These are some of the projects that I've worked on, and I'm very excited about the top project on the screen. This is a fire station in my hometown of Riviera Beach, and I was just notified yesterday that it is up for a national and an international recognition and competition. And I've heard from a little birdie, not sure if it's true or not, that we will probably win the award for this particular project. Some of the other projects below are some of the projects that I've worked on, such as the American Airlines Arena, the Miami Airlines Ballpark, Dallas Fort Worth Airport, Miami International Airport, Atlanta Airport, and many, many, many other projects. Now, founder of 5 businesses, MCO Construction, MCO Consulting, Ann McNeil Constructively Speaking, And the nonprofits is the National Association of Black Women in Construction and International Mastermind Association. National speaker, national awards. The one on my left is very dear to my heart because it is from an organization that I've been a volunteer with for over 25 years. That organization was previously known as the National Association of Investment Clubs, and now it has been rebranded as Better Investing. And one of the reasons why it's very dear to me is because that is where I began to learn how to save and how to invest a $20 bill per month, 5, 10, 15, 20 years plus. And I received this award from them, which is the George Nicholson Distinguished Service Award for volunteering in that national organization. And I host an I hosted with my daughter, the baby billionaire, to the behind me a session as a part of that conference. But what's amazing for me is that the faces that you see, that's a snippet of the amount of blacks that's in that organization. And to be an all-white organization and receive that honor as one of the first blacks to receive it was just, I mean, shocking and literally tears in my eyes because I was holding the camera, Facebook Live in the event, and when they called my name, I literally had a moment. So that's very special to me because we've helped over 20 different groups start and run successful investment clubs through that organization. And it's just amazing the power of compound interest, what it will do. The award on my right, I'm the founder of the National Association of Black Women in Construction. And this award on my right is a recognition from the National Association of Women in Construction. Let me say that again. Women in construction, majority white women. I founded the organization for Black Women in Construction. So I was really honored to receive the 2023 Advocacy DEI Award Champion for Progress from this organization that I've been a member of since 1982. 1982. And then the award in the middle is where I was inducted. And this is such an honor for those of us that's in the construction industry. You have to be invited to be a part of the NAC, which is a Construction Academy of Construction. And when I was awarded this honor, I counted there were only 3 African Americans in the entire group of individuals that were inducted that year, and I was blessed to be one of those. So those are just some national awards. There are many, many others, but I chose these 3 because they're dear to my heart, really dear to my heart. These are some of the books I've written, the workbooks, and the book I showed earlier, How to Start and Run a Successful Mastermind Group. 3 books there. This is Living, How to Raise a Baby Billionaire, and my book that I just published this year in January is called You Must Have a Dream to Have a Dream Come True. And then finally, this book on the right in the green is called Remember Me This Way. And I host a annual retreat called Life and Legacy. We'll talk about that a little later. And one of the things that I do in that retreat is I start with my clients bringing their obituary, send it to me before you come. And once you come to the retreat, we turn your obituary into an affirmation for living because we start with the end in mind and we work backwards. Now, this is the big elephant in the room. Now, is this your elephant? If this is your elephant, just put a number 1 in the chat. If you would put a number 1 in the chat, do you feel like you are working really hard and you have very little to show for it? If that's you, if you would put a number 1 in the chat. Next slide, please, Michelle. Is this your elephant where you scroll, you're so busy, you have the gym, you have shopping, you have lunch, you have so many other things that you are very, very, very busy and really running all over the place. If this is you, if you would just put the number 2 in the chat. Next slide, please, Michelle. All right. Now, maybe this is you. Just think about this. I'm not sure if you can see that slide. Do you feel like, you know, you need clarity? You need to get clear about your next level. You need to get clear about what's most important to you, or I should say, who's most important to you in your business or your life. And if this is you, if you would just put the number 3 in the chat. Is this you? You need greater clarity. All right. Now, what about the priorities, right? Now, this is what I'd like for you to think about. What is it that your problem is really costing you? What is it? What's costing you? That's what I'd like for you to think about just for a second. Is it missed opportunities, lack of focus, all of those things, but not just financial costs, but not being able to be there for your family, not being able to take downtime for yourself. Maybe you feel broken. What do you really want? Clarity, time with family and friends. How about financial freedom, self confidence, a whole life success? How about you really would like to reach new heights, develop some new success habits, or you'd like to create legacy? Let me tell you what I know for sure. It is possible for you to live your best life while building a financial legacy and taking your business to the next level. Now, this is what I want you to keep in mind. These are some testimonials from some of my clients, such as Chris McCarron. Her challenge was generating revenue and having the imposter syndrome. This was a quote from her. I barely was making enough money to pay my bills, racking up debt and driving a beat up old car. In conversations, I was very self deprecating and had a negative attitude toward my future. Now, keep this in mind. These are your expectations. I want you to be excited about part of your journey. And that's me. And my team are committed to guide you to get the results that you desire. Now, what got you here will not get you there. Next slide, please. Now, this is what I imagine that I want you to think about what it would be like when your business is growing, when you have an amazing team of individuals, when you are able to go away for 3 weeks on a vacation. I just came back in the middle of this year from a 5.5, almost 6 month cruise around the world, 72 ports, starting out in Fort Lauderdale, going through the Cayman Islands and that area, over to the Panama Canal, and then over to um, South America and all around South America, Falkland Islands, all the way back up over to Africa and over to Europe. 72 ports, 72 ports. And so this is what I think it may be like for you when you can have whatever it is you desire. Next slide, please. Now, these are the areas. This is actually a map of the areas that I was blessed to visit. Next slide. Cape Town is one of the areas the year before this year. My grandson and I went on vacation there. And I'm just going to kind of go through these very quickly. There are 4 keys you must master to live your best life and to establish a legacy. What is your next steps? Life and legacy. This is my framework. First, starting with your definite purpose. Chris McCarron, we saw her previously. This is her shift. She now is the owner of Queen Bee of the Hive Beehive co-working community space. She is the Queen Bee, okay? And she says it's been about 2 years since she basically started working with me. She's been using the self confidence formula every day, and she lives in a beautiful home that she designed. She's written and published her book. I mean, I can go on and on. I know she has a podcast and so many other things that she's doing, but she's created a life by design for herself. Now, life and legacy framework, the second part is visionary leadership. Don't worry, we've got you. We give you all the resources required to implement the next step, and that starts with community. This is Malachi Monroe. And Malachi also is a client. He said that he realized that university was not for him. And he said he came to Ann McNeil, where she began to do more, be more than a mentor, but I allowed him to see a larger vision of himself and what's possible. And he's the founder of Six Figure Med Spa. Now, the life and legacy framework started with your definite purpose, your visionary leadership, and then financial mastery. This is Galen Bingham. Now, Galen had a mindset shift. We actually met as a part of the Black NSA Million Dollar Mastermind, where he was a part of my coaching. And he later partnered with me to host my Saturday podcast. Once we started working together, he says that since working with Ann, he's able to he's fortifying his mental strength, that he needed to live the life of his dream, embracing a life of audacious possibility. I can go on and on about him. Uh, he has now been listed as one of the top podcasts in leadership in the US. Life and legacy framework, the ultimate transformation is what you will receive with definite purpose, visionary leadership, and financial mastery. This is a newsflash. It's going to be hard to get the life and legacy you love when your process is probably broken. Now, which one of these are you missing? Okay. And there's one more thing, just one more thing. All right, mindset. Mindset is everything. And if this is you and it's about mindset for you, just put a 5 in the chat, because Napoleon Hill says a positive mind finds a way it can be done. A negative mind looks for all the ways it can't be done. Next slide, please. Now, this new mindset will give you new results. Thoughts, feelings, words, actions, results. That's the formula for mindset. This is Valencia Warren Gibbs. Another shift. She says that when working with Ann, it helps to identify, number one, define, number two, and place your desire in front of you while teaching you how to learn from the obstacles that and that goals are a byproduct of the greatest gift of discovering you. Next slide. Now, what's the story blocking your next level? What's really holding you back? There's probably the stories you're telling yourself. But living your best life and establishing your legacy is not as hard as letting your mindset stop you from achieving your next big goal. Now, if you're waiting for a sign, guess what? This is it. Don't worry, my team and I are committed to helping you achieve and living actually, and I can attest to this because I have many clients that have done this, but living your best life and establishing your legacy. It doesn't have to be hard. With our help, you can. Now, it does not have to be hard. Now, to give a recap, what's your elephant? What's your real problem? What is it costing you? We've given you a life and legacy framework that includes a definite purpose, visionary leadership, financial mastery, and then finally, Even though it's mindset mastery, I really would call that first because I think mindset is everything before skill set. You don't need four separate programs. There's no reason for you to have to go to find four different programs in a piece of it. You can't reverse and engineer this screen. This is the tip of the iceberg. Don't waste time and energy trying to reinvent the wheel. Don't. No need. What you don't know could cost you everything. Now, you have a decision to make. This is the decision. Option one, you can work on your own. And what I mean by that is you can implement what I shared with you on your own. Option two, you can let me help you. Enroll in the Life and Legacy Retreat to be fully supported to achieve living your best life and establishing a legacy. How much is it costing you not to solve the problem? Now, you can register for our McNeil Factor Retreat. You can reach out to me on my cell. That number is 786-546-0184. Or you can go to annmcneil.com and you can get more details. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now, the McNeil Factor Retreat, um, we have a Niche to Be Rich program, and then we have a Life and Legacy program, but we also have a Clarity Mastermind program that you can get information about. If you're interested in any of these, if you would just put the word retreat in the chat, that's retreat in the chat, we'll follow up with you and help you to go to the next level in your business and also in your life. All right. And we want to thank all of you for joining us. And again, we'll make sure we put this information in the show notes on YouTube, but we'll also make sure we follow up with each of you and send you this information and this presentation by email. All right. Thank you. And
Miss Ann, it looks like we do have a hand up. We do have a question.
oh, excellent. What's the question? Go ahead. MK, you have a question? Because MK has a question, but Michelle, you'd have to bring the person on screen, stop sharing, or they can put their question in the chat. It's preferable that you put your question in the chat, MK.
Yes, the my chat is disabled, so I'm trying to put retreat in the chat, but it says disabled.
Oh, excellent. Okay, you know what? We heard you
Mhm.
loud and clear.
Okay.
So we will follow up with you regarding the retreat. Actually, we'll follow up with you immediately following this. So Michelle, you can privately take this information so we don't have it blast out to the world, and we will follow up with you immediately following this podcast. Thank you so very much for joining. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. And we did press the weather. You can see on the golf course is now is nice and clear. And I do believe that this is just like the test of life. If we just persist until we succeed with a spirit of excellence, all is well. All right, thank you.